Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today we are making a necklace using products from the Bargain Bead Box December 2020 edition. It's called Silent Night. If you're not familiar with Bargain Bead Box, it is a monthly subscription service delivered straight to your door. You get anywhere from 65 to 75 dollars worth of product, all this wonderful stuff here, shipped to your door for $17.95 a month. Um, it's just awesome. I love Bargain Bead Box. You get awesome things, findings, gemstones. You'll see when in this video if you watch the video. I also have several years worth of unboxings on my channel here under the playlist Bargain Bead Box. If you want to check that out, you can. Along with your subscription, you also get a 30% off coupon to use in their sister store, Bead Box Bargains, and the 30% off is off of already great prices. It is a closeout store, so the prices are good to start with. So if you're interested in subscribing, I have a coupon code here. It is Wendy2, all one. There's no spaces in that. And you can use this to get $2 off of your first month if you want to subscribe, or you can use it to get $2 off of your purchase in their store if you don't want to subscribe to the box but you just want to shop in their store. It can only be used one time, so you have to use it for one or the other. So just make that a note of that. But again, Bargain Bead Box, it's my favorite beading subscription service. I think it's great for advanced beaders because you get just everything you need to make a lot of jewelry, and it's great for beginning beaders because again you get everything you need. So besides adding in a few head pins or eye pins or things like that, jump rings, you get tons of stuff to work with. So anyway, let's get this out of the way and I'll show you what we're going to use from the box for today's project. So we're using this half moon pendant piece, and I have alcohol ink on my finger. It's beautiful, isn't it? This nice hot pink color. It won't come off. I scrubbed. I got most everything else off, but this beautiful hot pink will not come off of my finger. It's been on there for 2 days now, and yeah, it's just not coming off. I may just paint my nails hot pink to match it, but anyway, that's what that is. I'm not bleeding. Anyway, we're going to use this half moon pendant, and I had to laugh at this because when I unboxed it, the first thing I thought of when I saw this was the bra that Madonna wears with the pointy. And I didn't say it on my video, but somebody else said it in the comments on my video, so I had to laugh because that is exactly the first thing that I thought of as well when I saw this thing is that bra that Madonna wears. But anyway, the Madonna bra pendant here. So we're going to be using that. We're going to be using this beautiful hexagon glass piece right here, just one of them. We had two in the box. We're just going to use one. We're going to be using a lot of the bicones and most of the blue and silver rondelles, okay, out of the box. So we'll need those. There's more bicones here. You're going to need the head pins, the ball head pins that they included this month with the box. And you're going to need a few of your own head pins, just regular flat head pins. You're going to need a piece of chain with larger links. Now this chain I believe I got from AC Moore or maybe Joann's. I think it came from Joann's actually. And I'm just using a length of it here. How long is this? About 7 inches. We're going to use this piece of chain. And then I have two 6-inch, I think they're 6-inch, let me see here. Actually, yeah, 6 inches. So it's a 12-inch piece of 1mm leather, and we're going to be doubling it. So it'll be a 6-inch piece on your necklace, okay? Two of those, so two 12-inch pieces. I have some jump rings here. I have a lobster claw clasp, and for my lobster to clasp onto, I just cut one of the rings off of my chain, so I just have a ring for that. And I have a couple of fold over cord ends here for my leather. And I have some E6000 glue that I'm going to glue to put on the cord ends to secure them. So this is E6000 if you're not familiar with E6000, and a toothpick to use with it. And I've got my jewelry tools, lobster claw, did I say that? And I think that's everything that you're going to need. So if not, we'll deal with it when we get to it. You may need a couple eye pins. I'm not sure about that yet. Okay, so grab your stuff and let's get started. So the first thing you're going to do is make a bunch of dangles. And I'm going to count them here really quickly because it is a certain amount that you're going to need. So I've already made some of these and I will show you how I make them. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8. So we're going to use 10 of the little rondelles. And then I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. We're going to need 18 of the bicones, okay? And I will show you how I make these dangles, but I went ahead and did this just to save time because that would take forever. Okay, so we'll do that first. So the bicones, you're going to use your head pins, the ball head pins that came in the box this month. We're going to make wrapped loops, okay? So in order to do this, you're going to need chain nose pliers and round nose pliers, which I've got right here. And you're just going to take your bicone and put it on the ball head pin like this. You'll take your chain nose pliers and just up from the bicone, just a tiny, tiny bit, if you can see there, it's not very much at all, you're going to bend at a 90-degree angle. Then you're going to take your round nose pliers and get as far up into that bend as you can. You want to be way far up into the bend, and you're going to wrap over and around, flip your plier. So this is what you'll have right now. Okay, flip your plier and come on around with your loop. So you'll end up with this, a tiny little loop, just like that. Then you're going to grab the loop with your chain nose pliers, and you can either take another pair of pliers or just use your fingers because these wrap really easily, and just wrap that around. I usually wrap it 2 or 3 times, make sure it's tight, and then you're going to use your cutters. Well, where are my cutters? Oh, here they are. Sorry, they're on the other side of me. You're going to use your cutters, and you're just going to snip it right off, right up here, as close as you can get to it. And then you may have to use your pliers and tuck in, if you have a, see I have a little snaggy part right there, you want to tuck the little snaggy part in so it doesn't catch on anything or scratch anybody. And then just straighten up your loop a little bit. And that's how we make our wire wrapped loops. I'm going to do one more because we needed 2 more for this project. And again, I'm just going to bend this at 90 degrees. I'm going to get down in this bend, come over and around, flip my pliers and go on around till I have a loop. Grab my loop with my plier, and I'm just going to use my fingers to wrap because these do wrap really easily. You have to be a little bit careful. I've actually had a couple of these head pins break while I was trying to do the wrap. So you have to be kind of careful with them. They're thin, very, very thin. Alright, and just tuck that in. So that's how we do the wrapped loops. And you're going to need, like I said, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 bicones with wrapped loops. Okay, so we've got these right here. Now I'm gonna show you how to do your rondelle. And the reason that you can't use your ball head pins on the rondelle is the hole on the rondelle is too big in these ball head pins. It just comes right off. See that? So you need a regular head pin. So just grab a head pin, put your rondelle on, and we're going to bend this at a 90-degree angle. Again, whoops, getting a little feisty there. Okay. And then this one we cut off. So I do about a finger's width. You get used to judging this the more you make jewelry. But yeah, I do about a finger's width. Then I take my round nose pliers and I bend it right back into a loop. Just like that. Okay. And there we have our little loop. Okay. And you need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of the rondelles. Okay. So get your dangles made. That's the hardest part of this whole project. And come on back and we'll finish it up. Alright, so we're going to take our little piece here And I'm going to hang it. Now I'm going to make sure that my chain lays flat. You can use any chain for this. Any chain with, you know, decent size links. It doesn't even have to be big links like this at all. You just, any chain will work. But I'm using this just because I like the way it looked. And I'm going to take a couple of jump rings here. Let me see. I don't want real big ones. I've got all my jump rings mixed together. They fell, and my container fell, and they went everywhere, and I never did fix them. Okay, and I'm just going to hang this. I'm going to hang one from each of these small loops right here. One side from each small loop. So I'm just going to take my pliers. And I'm just going to hang it right here. Whoops. Of course, it's kind of hard to do when you're on camera because nothing wants to go right when you're on camera. And I'm just going to hang it right from here with this jump ring. Okay, there's one. Do the same thing with the other side. Just like this. And my chain got a little twisted. I try to keep it flat so that I know that it's going to lay right when I pick it up. Alright, there we go. And there the Madonna bra pendant is hanging right there on that. Perfect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my dangle that we're going to put down here. And I'm going to use this big piece, and then I'm going to make a little bunch of them dangle at the bottom. So I'm going to need an eye pin for this. And here I have one. I'm just going to take the eye pin and put him on. I'm not doing anything else with him. No other beads. He's going to be solo, just by himself. And I wonder, because he spins, well, I was going to do a wrap loop, but I don't even think I need to. I think it'll be okay, just like this. Even if he does spin around, it won't bother anything. And I'm just going to, you do your loop the same exact way. You just cut about a finger's width here, like that. And then we just roll it back with our pliers, around nose pliers. Alright, so here's our little loop. Now, I'm just going to hang it right on there with a jump ring, a small jump ring. I like to use small jump rings, the smallest size that I can, really, just because I don't think they're real pretty in your project, and the smaller, the less obtrusive they're going to be. So let's go ahead and attach this with this jump ring. I'm having issues with my jump rings today. I did at work too. I had a hard time with jump rings at work today. I just couldn't get them to open and close right. There we go. Alright. So there's what we've got. Now from the bottom of this little thing, we're going to make a little cluster. And I'm just going to take a small jump ring. I don't want a very big one. Let's see, probably about this. This is like an 8mm. Probably that will work just fine. Make sure all of your little loops are closed in your dangles. Those are, because they're wrap loops. And I'm going to put the rondelle in the middle. And I'm going to put a bicone on each side, just like this. And then I'm just going to hang it right here from my eye pin. Okay, and that's what we've got, a cute little dangle on the bottom. Now I'm going to take one of my rondelles. Well, I'm going to wait a minute and check on this, because I may want to do the same thing right here. I'm thinking about it. So let's go ahead and do the ones up the sides first. So I'm going to do a rondelle and 2 bicones on every big link, just like this. Rondelle, 2 bicones, rondelle, 2 bicones. And I may do more, but right now I just want to do those. So I'm just going to take a jump ring, the same as I did. Probably the 8mm is the one that I'm kind of liking for this. Let's see, maybe these are 6mm. I don't know, they're not huge. Like I said, I dropped on my jump ring, so nothing's separated out anymore. They're all in together, one big happy family. But I'm just picking them out. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take my jump ring here. And I'm going to do the same thing on here. Make sure these loops are closed real good. I'm going to put my bicone, then my rondelle, then my bicone. Just like that. And I'm just going to hang it from this big loop. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to do that on every large rung of this, or link of this chain. So bicone, rondelle, bicone. And I really have to say, I liked the look of this gunmetal chain with this pendant, because this pendant had such a dark tone to it here. I just thought that the bicone looked really pretty, or the bicone, goodness, the gunmetal chain looked really pretty. I've been at work today, and clearly my brain has been completely used up at work, because I am not with it right now. I feel like I'm scattered. Okay, here we go. All my brain power was used up at work today. I made a couple of huge pairs of earrings, one really huge pair, and I had to like build them out of pieces of other things, like metals. I had to glue a bunch of different metals together to build it, and it was just, took a lot of brain power, and I'm tired. But I'm running out of time. We leave here in a couple of days to travel home for Christmas, and I wanted to get this tutorial done because it's laying out on my bead mat, so I want to get it finished. Alright, so there we have our little dangles and our chain and our pendant. So here's what we're going to do now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I should have another rondelle floating around here. Did I lose one? I thought I had another one for the middle. Okay, well, we'll come across that bridge when we come to it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So 2 bicones here, 2 bicones here, 2 bicones here, and 2 bicones here. And I may do another 2 bicones for that one. But all we're doing here is the same exact thing. We're going to take these jump rings and we're just going to hang the same little rondelle and bicone cluster that we did in the chain. So let me grab out some more of these size bicones. If you can hear a bunch of noise in the next room, Chris is doing something. I have no idea what with his recording studio. But it's making all kinds of, it sounds like there's aliens in there. I don't know what he's doing. He gets kind of crazy with it sometimes. Alright, there's that one. The rondelle and the other bicone. We're just going to hang it right here. Close this right up. And again, bicone, rondelle, bicone. Just like that. I'm trying to make sure that my jump rings are closed well. I will check them all at the end when I'm finished, just to be sure. I like to go back and check all of them, make sure that they're closed up really good. And anytime I sell jewelry too, I go over it with a fine-tooth comb as well. If somebody buys something, I check every little connection, every little link, try to make sure it's very secure in all ways. Alright, so let's get this one. Last one here. This is going to be a 3-piece set. I'm actually going to do a necklace and earrings to match this. So stay tuned for those tutorials. They won't happen today, but eventually they will happen. I've already got the bracelet stuff laid out here. Alright. So here's what we have. Ooh, I like it. It's really cute. Okay, so let me pick this up and hold it the right way. Make sure that all of these are dangling correctly. They are. Now, I think right here I am just going to hang the, just the rondelle. I thought about making 2 more bicone link or dangles, but I think I'm just going to do the rondelle there. Just like this. Okay. So that's what we've got. Let me put it here on the screen. I think it's really pretty. Okay, so now we're going to do our sides. So I debated Coriana chain. I thought I'm going to do some Coriana chain and beat up the sides, but I was out of the rondelles, and so I had to save some out for the bracelet, so I don't want to do that. And the earrings. So I'm just going to use this leather. So we're going to take our piece of leather. We're going to put the 2 ends together and find the middle, and we are going to make a little loop like this. You're going to put your 2 ends through the outer piece and pull, and I totally did that wrong. There we go. There we go. Now it's going to work. Okay, pull down tight, and there's what you'll have. You'll have just your leather hooked on with a little loopy loop right there. Okay, now the other side, we have to make sure that we do the same way. You don't want it to be flipped. You want it to look exactly the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my loop here, put it through the hole, and then pull my middle, my strands through it. These little things like to flip around on me. There we go. And pull it tight. And it's backwards. So if that happens, just take it loose and redo it. That's what I was afraid was going to happen. I was going to get it backwards. So let me put my strings through the front. Here we go. Hopefully this will be right. I always have to play around with this to get it right. That's it right there. Isn't it? Yes. Okay. Pull it down to where it's tight. And there we have our 2 little leather connections. Okay, so now we're going to go right up here to the end, and I'm going to take my little cord ends right here, lay them down right here, and I'm going to just put a little bit of glue in each one. So my E6000 end of my tube is dried up here. Let me get to some good glue. Put in the trash. Alright, here we go. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in there. I'm kind of generous with it because I want it to, you know, I want it to hold really well. I'm just going to put a little bit in this one. Okay, stick the lid back on this because this E6000 likes to drain out the end of your tube. Alright, now I'm going to make sure, take these, pull them all the way up to the end, make sure that they're laying side by side, and I'm going to lay them right here in my cord connection, my cord end, and I'm just going to grab them like this with the end of my, if you can see my fingernails holding them, and just hold it here for just a second, stretch it out so that you know it's kind of tight, and then I'm going to take my flat nose pliers here and I'm just going to fold these over gently, and if your glue squishes out, it's okay. Then I'm going to turn it around and do the same thing. Now you want to press this down pretty good. Okay? And just leave it there for a second. Let your glue kind of set up, and it's fine. We'll clean it up here in just a minute. Same thing with the other side. Okay, just pulling them in, grabbing the very end of it, pulling them taut. And then I'm just going to take my flat nose pliers and flatten this down. Okay, I'm going to turn it around, grab the other side, and flatten it and smush it down really good. And now you can take something and wipe off your pliers if you want. I just use my fingers. I'm pretty messy with the E6000. Okay, so now we want to trim our little ends here. And just pull off any extra glue that you see sticking out. When the glue dries really well, you can take a little pair of tweezers and just pull off any excess that you see, or I just take a little piece of wire like that, but it'll come right off. Okay, so I'm going to take my cutters and I'm just going to trim this little piece of leather, and be careful that you don't trim your loop right there. I've done that before, and that's pretty aggravating because then you have to redo. You have to take it off and redo it. So I'm just trimming that excess leather right there. Same thing over here. Okay. Now, I'm just going to take a jump ring, a tiny one. And I'm debating, I think I will put a piece of extender on this just because I don't know if I'm going to keep this one or not. So yeah, let me cut this here. I'm going to put a little piece of extender on it. Here we go. I'm just going to cut this little extra loop off the end. Maybe. Okay, I cut this earlier today and didn't have any trouble. It's on camera. Oh my goodness, really? Just bend it off then. It's open. I'll just take it off. Yeah, I had no trouble earlier today. Okay, so let's see. I probably will put about that much of an extender on there. Yeah, that'll be good. So I'm going to take my little plier here. I was going to use this ring, but I think I'm just going to hook it directly on here. I'm going to take my little jump ring, open it, just like this, and I'm just going to attach the chain right to this end right here. Okay, just like that. Now on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take a jump ring, and I'm going to attach my lobster. Just like that. Now I've got a ton of bicones left, so I am going to make a little dangle for the end of this extender chain, just using the head pin, the same ball head pin, and then just a couple of bicones. And I'm just going to bend it at a 90-degree angle, just like I did with the others. Grab it here, flip this, go around, make a little wrap. Oops. And we're just going to cut this right here, tuck it up. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a small jump ring and attach that to the end of my extender, just to give it a little bit of extra embellishment. Just like that. And there we have our finished necklace. So let me stick this on a form and I will show it to you. Just 1 minute. Okay, so here's our finished necklace. I've got to say, I really do like the way this one turned out. I was kind of worried about the Madonna bra pendant. I wasn't sure that I would be able to figure out something to do with it that would look really kind of classy, but I think this turned out really well. I love the leather with this antique finish here and the gunmetal. I just think it looks really pretty. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit the bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. And like I said, I'm going to have the companion bracelet and earring set with this. So stay tuned for that. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.